When sports began to rise in popularity in colonial North America, women were often unable to participate as it was seen as unfeminine. As French and British settlers began to spread more, they brought their sports along with them. However, these sports were only reserved for men. Women had to be accompanied by their husbands when going outside for recreation during this time period, which limited their ability to be physically active.
In the late 19th century, the safety bike came onto the scene and quickly became very popular. Multiple bicycling clubs opened up within a few years, including ones just for women. The safety bicycle allowed women to participate in physical activity and gave them the freedom of transportation. This began to open the doors for more opportunities in the realm of sport. Women's fashion began to change in response to this physical activity and allowed them to wear more functional clothing.
The golden age of women's sport came into play during the 1920s and 30s. Women began to participate in multiple sports, but one in particular rose to popularity. The sport of basketball was very popular amongst women. A specific team that rose to fame was the Edmonton Grads. The Edmonton Grads became famous across the country and helped open the minds of others to women playing sports at high levels.
Acadia University had women competing in sport early on. Women's teams would play against one another and women's teams from local areas. These rules for these games, however, were altered. It was believed that women had physical limitations due to their sex. Their uniforms were bulky and restrictive to not show skin.
Despite the many barriers to play that these women faced, they continued to persevere and went on to win multiple championships for Acadia University.
Haley McDonald is a success story of Acadia women's basketball, and we had the honor of interviewing her on her experience as a female athlete.
What does it mean to be a woman in sport?
So for me, giving a space for women to represent themselves how they want. I think when women kind of find themselves in male-dominated sporting realms specifically, they really try to dim their light or try to kind of move towards being more masculine so I think being very true to yourself and kind of going through what means, I guess, your own personal values, your internal clock, those types of things, what guides you. Even though you're on the field, the court, the rink, really wherever, you're kind of giving an opportunity for younger girls also to see themselves in that role. I was really lucky. I actually grew up here, so I know I'm very lucky because a lot of people don't have that. But just kind of showing that representation, I think, also is a big part of women in sport.
What women in sports inspire you?
When I think about women that inspire me, locally, and I guess it would be the girls that I watched growing up. Lindsay Harris, or she's now Lindsay Heelis. She's one of our assistant coaches. She's played here for years. Steph Chapman, Abby and Emma Dunker, Jasmine Parent, these are all people that I watched growing up, and kind of, like I said earlier, I didn't think I could do these things without seeing these women do these things, so they were my direct inspirations, I think.
What does it mean to you to have younger athletes look up to you?
That's what it's about now. As you get to this age, obviously you have stuff that you want to accomplish or goals or awards that you want to win, but when it really comes down to it, if you don't leave the space better than when you found it, I don't think you actually did your job. So for me, that's kind of that's the best part of it all, honestly. I gave a kid a pair of shoes during one of my last games, and the dad started crying. So that just kind of shows that, our reach isn't just with the kids either. It's with the family. They go to school, they talk about what they saw at the games. They're kind of pushing that out to their peers too. So yeah, for me, it's a big aspect, definitely.
Following that, what advice would you give a little girl just starting out in sport?
I would say to stick with it, definitely. Bet on yourself and don't let anyone dim your own light. I think especially women, because so often you're told that you can't do this, you can't do it as good as the guys. And for me, I was told that forever, so I kind of just started betting on myself and doing my own thing and just.
That's all the questions.
Thank you.
Yeah, wow, you guys were so quick. Love this.